You are listening to the Shopify Solutions Podcast, a podcast for Shopify store owners that brings you concrete examples on how to build and grow your e-commerce business. My name is Scott Austin, and I have an e-commerce agency named Jade Puma. In this podcast, I'll share my e-commerce insights and best practices with you. Hey, Scott Austin here. In this episode, I'm going to cover my recommendation for which review app to use in your Shopify store. But before I do that, I want to impart one unrelated nugget of information. Last week, there was a pretty big outage with the Shopify service. Many store owners could not log into the Shopify admin, and many stores were unavailable to consumers. My clients instantly started calling me as they didn't know if the issue was something that was happening at the Shopify level or if it was something that they did to their store. Shopify has a website that tells you if their servers are operating normally or not. It is shopifystatus.com. It shows the status for a number of different parts of their service, like the Shopify admin, checkout, POS, and more. And they update it pretty quickly when there's an issue. When I experienced this recent issue, I went to the status site and it showed all green, but within 2 or 3 minutes it was showing which services were down. So my advice to you is to bookmark shopifystatus.com and use it if you think there is a Shopify service outage. So with that, let's move on to our podcast topic, which is why I recommend Judge Me for product reviews. So let's first talk about why customer reviews are so important for your e-commerce store. Reviews are an important component of social proof. Recent studies have shown that more than 80% of consumers read product reviews during their online shopping sessions. And one of the beautiful things about customer reviews is that in these reviews, your customers will talk about your products in a different way than you do. And they might be highlighting a feature or functionality that your copy does not highlight. With reviews, that information is now provided to your customers and can become part of their decision-making process. Next, because these comments are coming from people that are not employed by your business, there's an authenticity behind them. People trust customer reviews and what those reviews say more than the marketing copy on the product page. In addition to that, there's an SEO benefit from reviews. Any of the good review apps out there today are going to have what's called structured data that Google will pick up and read as it crawls your site. Google then uses that structured data to make the reviews rich snippet that gets added to search results. There's no guarantee from Google that structured data will give you the reviews rich snippet though. They leave it as their discretion whether to use that data or not. But the only way your store can have a chance of the reviews rich snippet showing in search results is to have a review app which provides the structured data. In summary, the main reasons to have reviews are 1. Social proof. This should improve your store's conversion rate. 2. Review stars in search results. This should increase traffic from SEO. If you currently have a Shopify store and don't yet have a reviews app, adding reviews would be near the top of my recommendations for your store's improvements. There is no shortage of review app options for your Shopify store. I just searched for product reviews in the Shopify App Store, and there's well over 100 different review apps, and many of them are good. They have pretty similar feature sets. A lot of them are viable options for you to use. But to simplify this, I recommend Judge Me. I install it on all of the stores that I build for my clients, so I'm not going to spend time going over all the other review apps. Instead, I'm going to focus on why I recommend Judge Me and how to get the most out of it. And that said, let me be clear here. My recommendation of Judge Me is purely based on their feature set and their business model. I don't have any affiliate relationship with them, and they're not sponsoring this podcast episode or anything like that. Judge Me is what I recommend to my clients. Now, in any review app, there are a set of features that become important or that you should consider about that app. So let's discuss desirable features of any review app. Number 1, the ability to display reviews in your store and elsewhere. You can show reviews on the product page, and that can be a list of all the product reviews at the bottom of the page or wherever you want to place it. And then at the top of the page, there's the review stars and the number of reviews next to it. And also, a lot of the apps provide a homepage section or what's called a carousel. It's a rotating carousel of recent reviews. There's also an all reviews page, which is a good best practice for Google SEO. And then there are other widgets like a reviews badge, which I like to put in the footer of the site. It says something like, this store has 875 reviews with an average of a 4.9 rating. Number 2, you need the ability to collect reviews. Reviews can be entered through web forms on your store or through forms sent in emails. A review app also needs to be able to import reviews from other review platforms. Number 3, you need the ability to solicit reviews from customers. That means sending emails out after a product has been fulfilled and received by the customer so that you're not just expecting them to come back to your store on their own after they receive their order. The only way you're going to get a good volume of reviews from your customers is by sending emails requesting reviews. Not every platform solicits reviews through email, so that's something to make sure of. Number 4, I already talked about one of the big benefits of reviews is the benefit it has on your Google SEO. So you want to make sure that your review app provides good structured data for Google to use with search results. Number 5, product groups. This is the ability to combine and share reviews across a set of products. Here's a common scenario. Let's say that you sell shoes and one of the shoes comes in different colors. Now let's say that for whatever reason, you've decided that the different colors are going to be different products. Product groups allow every review for any one of the colors of the shoe to show on all of the products in the group. So product groups is really useful in providing deeper coverage of the number of reviews shown for a given product and wider coverage across your product catalog. Number 6, sharing reviews across Shopify stores. A real example of this that I've done quite a few times is that I'll make 2 separate Shopify stores for a client, one for their consumer business and another for their wholesale business. And with wholesale, a lot of wholesale customers actually don't know the product that well as they don't interact with it because they're reselling it. So they really can't submit reviews because they're not knowledgeable of the products. In this case, I'll share reviews across the 2 stores. That way, all of the consumer reviews collected in the consumer store will also appear for the same product in the wholesale store. Of course, reviews can be shared in both directions if desired. Number 7, integrations. Reviews data should not stand alone in the Reviews app. The app needs to share its data with other apps that you are using, especially email, social, and Google. Number 8, editorial control. One of the big benefits of a review app in your Shopify store, and those of you that are selling on Amazon are really going to appreciate this one, is that you get editorial control over your reviews. So you'll be able to decide which reviews should show in your store and which ones are inappropriate. As you know, there are haters in the world, and if one of those haters comes to your store and submits a really unfair review against your store, you have the editorial control to not publish that onto your site. With editorial control, you can also respond to a review. So when someone makes a comment or asks a question, you can respond to them and share that response with other customers. Number 9, the last big feature of review apps is the different types of content that they allow customers to generate. The types of user-generated content include A, product reviews, where they're reviewing individual products based on their order. B, store reviews, where they're reviewing your store, the quality of your service, and the timeliness of your shipping. C, Q&A. Customers can ask questions and then you can answer them. This is a nice way to build out FAQ-type content. D, customer media. Photos or videos from the customers of their purchases or testimonials. So now let's go specifically into Judge Me and why I recommend it. The quick summary is that Judge Me is feature-rich and it provides the best business value for store owners. In other words, it's the cheapest. On the feature side of things, it has all the features that I mentioned above that are important in a review app. It also has a bunch of smaller features that I have not mentioned, but which add value to the reviews experience. And on the business model, Judge Me's free plan offers the most value out there. That is, it provides for free, unlimited reviews with email solicitations. A lot of other review apps cap their free level at a trial for a certain number of days, or cap the number of email solicitations sent per month. With Judge Me, you get unlimited reviews and unlimited solicitations for free. What I really like about the business model for the paid features is that there's no sliding scale. It's a flat fee of only $15 per month for all of the premium features, regardless of the volume of orders going through your store. And that $15 per month is cheaper than most other review apps' lowest paid level if they are using a sliding scale based on order volume. Now, there's 3 big reasons that I use with my clients to justify the paid version of Judge Me over the free version. The first one is that in the paid version, you can send more than one email per order to solicit reviews. So you can remind customers 1, 2, or 3 times to submit a review. And they only get reminders if they haven't submitted a review yet. The second reason is that product groups is a paid feature, and product groups can be really important to get wide and deep coverage of reviews across your product catalog. And the third reason is that you get more control over the experience. There's a ton of settings that you can adjust in Judge Me, and a vast majority of those settings are only available in the paid plan. Now, I want to move on to best practices for review apps. Some of these best practices apply to specifics about Judge Me, and others are general best practices regardless of which review app you are using. Number 1, if you are setting up a new reviews app, you should import any old reviews you have because review coverage is so important. You're going to want those historical reviews from whatever platform you had reviews in before. And those old reviews also show that your store has been around longer. Customers will see these older reviews, which show the longevity of your store. Judge Me allows you to import reviews in a number of different formats, making the process easier. Number 2, kind of similar to number 1, is that you should solicit reviews from past customers when you set up your review app for the first time. So if you didn't have a previous review system that you can migrate reviews from, go through your history of orders and solicit reviews from past customers. And when you do this, be sure that you are sending them an email that clearly communicates that you just set up a new product review system and you want a review of their past purchase. You need to be clear on this so customers don't get confused and think that your store processed an order for them recently. In Judge Me, you'll need to be on the paid plan to send a customized review solicitation email. Number 3, you should solicit a review for every sale. Now in Judge Me, you get unlimited review solicitations for the free and paid levels. So this best practice is more for those other review apps out there that cap the reviews at a certain number per month for different subscription levels. For example, if your store typically has 1,000 orders per month, don't be on a plan that only sends out 50 or 100 solicitations per month. If you have 1,000 orders a month going through your store, you should be soliciting 1,000 reviews per month. The reason for this is that number, 1,000 per month, is really powerful. A store with a small total number of reviews looks new or small, while a store with a ton of reviews looks more legit. Number 4, solicit reviews multiple times for each order. In the free version of Judge Me, you can only send one solicitation email per order, but in the paid level, you can send multiple emails per order. I recommend that you send at least 3 emails. Now, if the customer submits a review on the first email, they won't get the second or third one. Sending multiple emails keeps reminding customers in case they are busy or if it is the wrong time and place when they get that first email solicitation. So give them a reminder to submit a review, and that will help you get more reviews into your store. On average, a store is going to see about 5 or 10% of their orders will submit reviews. So that's a good guide for you. If you're only getting 1 or 2% of your orders submitting reviews, you may want to pull a couple levers to get more reminders going out to your customers. Number 5, in the paid level, Judge Me allows customers to submit their photos with a review. And Judge Me can send an email reminder after a review to add a photo. So turn both of these features on and get more customer media into your reviews. Number 6, only solicit one type of review, store level or product level, in your store. You can solicit both kinds of reviews in most of the review apps out there. The store reviews usually happen right after a customer places an order in your store. And product review solicitations usually go out 14 days after the order is placed to ensure the customer has had enough time to receive the product. While the review apps are very clear and do a good job of explaining what the difference is between a store review and a product review, your customers are still probably going to find the experience confusing. You've probably seen it in a store where a lot of the store reviews mention that they haven't received the product yet. So customers can get confused by store reviews because they're expecting product review solicitations. So most businesses should just stick with product reviews and not bother with store reviews. Now there are times that the opposite is true, where you should only do store reviews and not do product reviews. Some examples are if your products are one of a kind, like you are selling original paintings or custom jewelry. Or maybe your product isn't actually a product, but it's a service. In those situations, you only want to do store reviews. Number 7, ensure that the structured data from your product reviews is working properly on your product pages. Google has a structured data testing tool that I'll link to in the show notes that you can use for testing. Number 8, do not be too heavy-handed with your editorial control. Remember, you'll have the ability to say which reviews show up on your site, and it's very easy to decide to only show 5-star reviews. But if you do that, most people are going to be able to detect that there's an authenticity problem here. Why is everything so positive? So make sure that when a customer has a valid concern and they submit that concern in a review, that you allow that review to go through, and then answer that concern or question as you have the ability to provide answers or feedback on reviews. That way, reviews will look more authentic and customers will get to see how you handle issues. In Judge Me, I usually set it to auto-publish all 4- and 5-star reviews and have the 3-star and below reviews reviewed by the store staff for publishing. Number 9, connect Judge Me to Klaviyo or whichever email app you use. That way, Klaviyo will know that customers have submitted a review and whether that review was positive or negative. Then you can use that information inside Klaviyo when creating flows and segments. Number 10, create a Klaviyo flow for positive reviews. The goal here is to turn your biggest fans into promoters to grow your audience. The way you do this is by sending a Klaviyo email to anyone that leaves a positive review. Thank them for that positive review and offer them an opportunity to share their knowledge with their friends. Give them a coupon code that they can share with their friend. If the customer wants to keep that coupon code for themselves, they of course can. But suggest to them that they give it to one of their friends that may also like your products. To make that suggestion even more persuasive, give them 3 coupon codes for 3 friends. Now to summarize this episode, you should use a product review app unless there's a very good business reason not to. My recommendation is that you use the Judge Me product review app. There are many good choices out there. I like Judge Me because it has all of the important review app features and it also has the best pricing of the review apps. Now the world of Shopify apps is very competitive. There's always new apps entering the market and existing apps are constantly evolving. So if I ever change my recommendation for a review app, I'll let you know in a future podcast episode. Thanks for listening. You've been listening to the Shopify Solutions Podcast with Scott Austin. This podcast is brought to you by Jade Puma, a full-service agency focused on Shopify. If you like what you heard, please leave a review and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast. If you have a question or a comment, please send an email to scott@jadepuma.com.